Hi, I'm Chef Tina Jo and welcome to Splendor in the Raw. Today on Splendor in the Raw we're going to be making cheese, which happens to be one of my favorites, right along with chocolate. Coming from a very traditional Italian family, when I first went raw, I was absolutely devastated to think that I'd have to live my life without cheese, truly. But you know, after some experimentation and reading a lot of books, there are some marvelous ways to make cheese from seeds and nuts. Today, again, we're going to be making an almond cheese. Now remember, this is a living food, but it has a lot of fat content in it, so be careful how you use it. Moderation, of course. Now, different nuts and seeds produce different flavors and textures, and by pressing and dehydrating, you can also produce different textures. For example, here's some cheese that I dehydrated really just a few weeks ago, and I used pine nuts to create this. And what I'll do is put this in my blender, or you could even use a processor, and grind it up into a fine powder. And you know, I can use it to sprinkle on salads, or I can use it in lasagnas. I can really use it in just a host of ways, and it is very reminiscent of Parmesan. So we're going to start with our almonds. And again, almond cheese is very similar to ricotta or feta. Cashew cheese is very similar to cream cheese. It has a very creamy, wonderful texture. Pine cheese is similar to Parmesan. And some of the uses, again, lasagnas, you can put them in torts, you can use them in cheese dips, and there's really a million other uses. And a lot of the different flavors with the cheeses you can substitute for cream cheese or cottage cheese, things like that. So, you know, gourmet raw food is really where it's at if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you know, among your peers who are not raw. So the first thing that you need to do with your almonds is you need to blanch them. And what you do is just boil some water, soak your almonds in the water for really just about 5 minutes or so. And what you're going to do is peel the almond. You want to get the skin off of the almond. And this is 2 cups of almonds, by the way, and I really just wanted to blanch these quickly to show you. And all you do is you take these with your thumb and forefinger and you pop the skin. Look at that. You pop the skin right off, so it's very easy to do. And the reason you don't want to use the skin with the cheese is you want your cheese to have the color and texture of, you know, a white cheese, not with the skin. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. And what we're going to do is use our blender. I'm going to use the Vitamix here. If you have a different blender, you can certainly use it. You do need a blender that's a little bit more powerful to help really, you know, process the nuts. Need to add about a cup of water. Make sure that you put your wet mixture in first. And I'm going to reserve some of that water because I like a nice creamy texture. Don't want to add too much water. And we're going to add our almonds. And now I'm going to add the probiotic. And you can either use Rejuvelac. If you've got some made, that's perfect, or probiotic. And if you don't want to use either, you can use miso, which is fantastic. Now your cheese needs to ferment between 8 and 24 hours, depending on, you know, how potent you like it. And you can kind of taste it as the days go on and see, you know, where you're comfortable. Let me pull this over here and we'll get this started. This is so simple to make. To live without cheese, it's not necessary. So this is going to be a little loud. Excuse me for just a moment. And you want to make sure that you get a nice vortex going here. Make sure our camera can see it up there. Look at that. Beautiful. Oop. Hello. You can see we've got a nice creamy texture now. And you can add all kinds of ingredients to your cheese. you know, any type of particular spices. If you want to use salt or garlic, you can add herbs or dates or even sweeteners to your cheese. It's, you know, you're only limited by your own imagination. Now what you need is a cheesecloth, and I actually use these little strawberry containers that we get at the grocery store when we purchase our strawberries, or you can even get them at the farmer's market now that it is summertime. And you want to just place your cheesecloth through your container, and what you need to do is make sure that your cheese has an opportunity to drain. And so you can again use this method. You can put it in a milk bag and you can milk it and get rid of the excess liquid that way, and then place it into a strainer. I prefer to do it this way. So you just take your strawberry basket, place it in a bowl, and you can see that here the strawberry basket is not hitting the bottom of the bowl, so that it won't sit in the liquid. The liquid will actually drain. And we're just going to pour our cheese in there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And with this particular cheese, I have plans for it. So I'm not going to mix in any other ingredients until it has fermented for probably about 12 hours. 12 hours seems to be about my rate that I like. But everybody differs, so just again, taste as you go along. So then you want to cover your cheese with your cheesecloth. And again, if you want a different texture to your cheese, you can place a little weight on top, and typically just a little glass jar with some seeds and nuts is certainly ample, or you can place a little bowl on top of it. You want to put this in a warm place, not hot, just a warm, dry place, and let your cheese ferment again until your liking. Again, for me, I like 12 hours. So earlier, what I did, show you this, was I put my cheese into a little tin. And this is so great if you're having company and you're serving cheese and crackers, or just, you know, a little appetizer for your friends. You can put them in the cheese in any type of torte. You can, you know, place it on a plate, your little serving spoon, and you know, you're ready to go. So I'm Chef Tina Jo. This was Splendor in the Raw with cheese. All right, enjoy your summer. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.